Hi there. My name is Avijit Dey, and I'm a technical marketing engineer for Collaboration Technology Group in Cisco. I focus on products like Cisco Meeting Server. I also focus on emerging technologies like Microsoft Teams, Cloud Video Interop, and WebEx Meetings APIs. It was very interesting for me to create this content, and I hope you find my content helpful in some way or other. Let's begin. The database module in the CMS can be clustered for redundancy. Clustering databases does not mean CMS server clustering. Call bridges have to be clustered separately to enable call bridge clustering. Maximum of 5 database modules can be clustered. This is not the limit of call bridge clustering. Call bridges can be clustered till 24 servers. Though Cisco recommends maximum database cluster to be 3, this works best for most of the deployments. Database clusters should always be set up in odd numbers, which means either I can have just one database module for the whole CMS cluster, or 3 database modules clustered, or 5 database modules clustered. The database cluster works in a master-slave fashion, which means once the cluster is set, there is one master and all the slave databases sync only with the master. All the call bridges in the cluster communicate only with the master database. Let's understand why the database cluster is a master-slave model. Database cluster consists of one master and multiple slaves with a maximum of 5 nodes. Database master can perform both read and write operations, while slaves can only do read. Call bridges always connect to the database master for read and write, and all the changes made on the master are replicated to the slaves. In case of failure in the master, one of the slaves will become the new master, and other slaves will re-register with this new master. After correcting the failure, the old master will become the slave and register with the new master. In cases where a network partition occurs, only database nodes that can see more than half of the total number in the cluster are considered for promotion to being a master database. Likewise, any existing master that cannot see more than half of the cluster database nodes will be demoted to a slave. This ensures that multiple masters are not created. So, if a database cluster consists of even number, for instance 2 or 4 nodes, and the network is cut into half such that an equal number of nodes are on each side, the master on one side will be demoted to a slave since it cannot see more than half of the cluster members. In that case, there will be no master in the cluster. For this reason, it is recommended to have an odd number of nodes in the database cluster to ensure that a master is always elected. As a result, the minimum number of database nodes in a cluster would be 3. If you have a combined call bridge and database node, then the call bridge can read from the database even when it can't see the master. If you have a standalone call bridge, then it can't do read access to any node except the master. This applies even when there is another database node nearby. If you don't have read access, then no inbound calls will work. No forwarding of calls will work, since they require inbound calls. But outbound calls may work. If you have read access, then calls will work. But obviously, no changes can be propagated. TMS makes changes to enable a conference, so no TMS scheduled conferences will work. This slide has some links that gives more information on CMS databases. Now let's see an example of how a CMS cluster can be built with different modules, which CMS server needs to have web admin, how to choose where to have a database module and not. This is the first CMS server. This server has the web admin to enable GUI, call bridge for conference media handling, and a database module. Now I want to have a recording and streaming capability in my company. So I install another CMS server with only the recording and streaming modules. This CMS server doesn't need the web admin module as the configuration is done mainly on the call bridge module. I have external participants who would like to join via WebRTC. Then I install another CMS server with the WebBridge module. This server doesn't need the web admin module too. All the three servers are now in location 1. I have another location where I need local conferencing capability. So I install CMS 4 with Callbridge and web admin module. If you remember from the database lecture, databases has to be in odd numbers. There is already a database in location 1, so I would not need another database for my cluster to function properly. But what if I want a database redundancy? I can predict that the network between location 1 and 2 might go down, and when it happens, the location 2 should have a database server. I cannot have a database server cluster of 2, so I need another database instance. I install CMS6 server in location 2 with only the database module. I can enable external participants by adding a WebBridge module in CMS5 in location 2. I can increase the scale in location 2 by enabling the CallBridge module in CMS6. Then I add another location 3, and this location has WebBridge, CallBridge, and database modules. Again, we have total even number of databases. We need to reduce the databases now. It is recommended that if you choose to have a database cluster, split the database nodes per location. So I disable the database module in CMS6. If I add another location to odd out the number of database modules, I might have to add a database somewhere. In this example, I choose to enable the database in CMS6. Adding another location 5 would need disabling the database node in CMS6 again. A note that I want to bring out here, in all the CMS deployments we have seen, a database cluster of 3 does solve most of the deployments. So you don't have to go above 3 node database cluster unless you really want to.